I didn't see anyone else for a long time. That's another way the backrooms lies to you. It convinces you that solitude means safety. That if nothing is moving, nothing is wrong. But absence doesn't mean empty.
Subscribe.
The first sign wasn't a body. It wasn't even something dramatic. It was a backpack, slumped against the base of a wall where the carpet met the molding. Black nylon. One strap twisted under itself, like it had been dropped in a hurry and never picked up again. It looked out of place immediately. Not because it was abandoned, because it stayed abandoned. I passed it once and told myself I'd come back to it. That was the mistake. When I looped the corridor again, the backpack was still there. But something about it felt thinner, less present, like a photocopy that had been copied too many times. The zipper teeth were duller. The fabric looked faded, but only along the seams. The logo on the front, some brand I didn't recognize, had softened at the edges, like it was being gently erased. The lights flickered about 10 minutes later. I didn't touch the backpack. That's another rule I learned too late. Don't interact with unattended objects unless you're prepared to lose something with them. I kept walking. Further down, I found a shoe. Just one. Left foot. Gray running shoe, scuffed at the toe. It sat in the middle of the hallway like it had been placed there deliberately, which meant it definitely hadn't been. The backrooms don't like symmetry, but they tolerate imbalance. I watched the shoe over several loops. Each time I passed it, something was missing. First the laces, then the inner padding. Eventually the sole started separating from the upper, peeling away in neat, deliberate layers. It wasn't decaying. It was being disassembled. The lights flickered again. I started to understand the order of things.
Maintenance
after
doesn't
that.
remove everything at once. It prioritizes meaning. Objects that can't explain themselves last longer. Anything that implies intention, planning, communication, identity, goes first. That's why I didn't panic when I found the notebook. It was wedged under a loose corner of carpet, half hidden like someone had tried to make it invisible. The cover was plain cardboard, no markings, no name. I waited. 2 flicker cycles passed before I went back for it. That was deliberate. If the notebook was going to disappear immediately, I didn't want to be nearby when it did. When I returned, it was still there. I picked it up quickly. That was my second mistake. Most of the pages were blank, not torn out, just empty, as if they'd never been written on at all. But a few near the center still held faint impressions, the way paper remembers pressure even after ink is gone. I could make out part of a sentence if I angled it toward the light. They clean. That was all that remained. The rest of the page was smooth. Too smooth. The fibers felt compressed, like they'd been flattened deliberately to remove something. The lights flickered almost immediately after that. I didn't keep the notebook. I set it back where I found it and stepped away. When I looped again, it was gone. The carpet corner lay flat, uniform, like it had never been disturbed. That's when the rule became clear. Do not leave intentional messages. You can exist here quietly. You can move, observe, even survive. But the moment you try to communicate, really communicate, You're no longer background noise. You become clutter. I think that's what happened to the people who owned those things. Not killed, not taken, just resolved, corrected, reduced until there was nothing left that needed explaining. I don't know how many of us there are, or were. I don't know if anyone lasts longer than anyone else. But I do know this. The backrooms don't erase you for being here. They erase you for trying to matter. That's why I don't sign my recordings. That's why I don't say my name. And that's why I'm careful about what I leave behind. Because maintenance doesn't mind occupants. It minds evidence.